Hey guys, and welcome back to Boots and Bunny Homestead. If this is your very first video you're watching, I don't know how interesting it'll be to you, but I have plenty others. We do line dancing and cooking and gardening, and I've done some sewing videos and a whole bunch of stuff. So if this doesn't interest you, please feel free to go and watch another one of our videos. But I kind of feel led to share this with you guys. Not just to you in particular, but either somebody you may know or just anybody that randomly watches this video. So I'm back here in my sewing room, kind of to myself, because I wanted to share a journey that I'm fixing to go through with you guys. And it's very emotional for me. And I know a lot of you can relate, okay? Nothing is wrong. You know, I'm not dying or nothing. But it's something that's very, very emotional, and it runs deeper than what a lot of people make it out to be, okay? So, I am 37, and I have 3 kids. I've been pregnant 5 times, but I have 3 kids living, and the other 2 are in heaven. But needless to say, my first baby was when I was 17, so he's almost 20, and back then I weighed like 155 pounds, and I was 17. I'm not but like 5'2". I'm not very big, or wasn't. I'm about as wide as I am vertical now. I'm just kidding. But back then, I was tiny, or tinier than I am now. I thought I was fat back then, but I'm really hefty now. But I had an almost 9-pound baby. I gained 100 pounds at least. I quit counting at 100 pounds, and that was a month before I actually had him. So I gained well over 100 pounds. I was preeclamptic, I was diabetic, you named it, I had it. And needless to say, it took a toll on my body more than I could ever account for. So I've had Emma, who is fixing to be 15. I have had 2 miscarriages that were within the first trimester, but closer to the end of the first trimester. And then I had Logan, and he is fixing to be 9. And my body has, really took a beating, of course, over the years, and you women know that. And with every kid, I was preeclamptic and diabetic, except for Logan, but we went ahead and induced a week early with him. Emma came 3 weeks early by herself, but I've had to be induced. Actually, I've had to be induced all 3 times because of one thing or another, but mostly being preeclamptic and just trying to avoid the problems. So, needless to say, here it is almost 20 years later, and I've gotten wiser in my older years, to say the least. I've gotten a little wiser over the last few years, and I have started realizing some different things. And I guess lately it's took a harder toll on me than anything. Now my oldest, Preston, he was only here about half the time. We had joint custody with him, and then he was in a lot of activities at school, and then he started working at a younger age. And now, since he has graduated high school and has started college, he has started living with his dad. So he's never really been around a whole lot, throughout our lives growing up together, because I was 17 when I had him. So, me and him grew up together. And then I had Emma, and she's very, I'm not going to say athletic, but she does like to play tennis and volleyball. She played softball for 5, 6, 7 years. So she's tried to stay active, not athletic, but she's tried to stay active. And then of course Logan, he plays soccer, not on a team, but he plays soccer out in the backyard with us, and he does play baseball on his county team and stuff like that. So the kids are fairly active, and the more active they become, the more I'm noticing the less active I am, and it's getting worse. And it's because as girls and young women, and I say young women, I would say anybody, probably under 40, 45-ish, because anything between 35 and 45 is high-risk pregnancy and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it under 45, just because that's who this is going to tend to the most. Being a problem. But I just wanted to bring awareness, because back to what I was saying, as we grow up, get older, we have kids, we have more kids, we're more active in our lives because of the kids, getting everybody where they need to be, even farming, homesteading, tending to more animals, having more chores to do if you're stay at home or whether you work. Doesn't matter. The older you get, the more active you get in kind of like that midlife kind of area, between your, say, 25 and 45. That would be probably the most active parts of your life. And as women during that time, even coming out of high school and getting older, you're always told that once you have a baby, and if you start having some of these problems after having a baby, it's normal. And I'm talking about stress incontinence, which is, how everybody says, you have a baby and then, you cough and sneeze and you're going to pee on yourself. Basically is what it comes down to. Everybody says, oh, it's normal, just do some Kegel exercises, and you'll have to do them like 10 times a day. And first of all, ain't nobody got time for that. And second of all, I am the master of doing Kegels, and if they worked, I wouldn't be in this position that I am now. I wanted to bring you along to, I guess, pass on information. Yes, some women, well, most women that I see, I'm jealous of because I watch a lot of exercise videos, and I did a lot of exercise stuff like cardio, dance, fitness, and all that stuff. I did that for many, many years. And I also do line dancing. We teach that on YouTube here. And, it made me really jealous because I seen these women, jumping and kicking and dancing and squatting and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, how are they doing all of that? And most of them wear pants so tight you can't even see their panty lines. And I'm like, how are they doing it without panties? Because ever since I was 17 years old, and I take it back, even while I was pregnant when I was 17, not even after I had a baby, but during my pregnancy, I had to wear a pad. And I have worn at least one every day since. So for 20 years, not a day has went by that I have not worn some kind of protection liner. I stuck mostly to panty liners. But like if I was to get sick, like coughing, sneezing, anything like that, I would go through 5 or 6 panty liners. I would go through 2 or 3 sets of clothes. Because just one coughing spell or getting choked or something like that would overflow the pad or panty liner I was wearing, and it would just go everywhere. It would get the seat wet. It would get my clothes wet. And I'm not embarrassed to tell you this. I'm not, because it's part of my life. And, you know, I joke around with my kids and I'm like, Mama ain't jumping. I've been up peeing my pants, you know, or I ain't running, you know, I'll have pee going down my leg. Well, I joke with them about it, but they understand that it's the truth. I can't get up out of a chair, you know, just from a sitting to standing position without it happening. I can't take a deep breath, clear my throat, anything like that. I can't do none of that without this affecting my life. My journey changed when I heard a commercial on the radio, and it says, you know, if you have stress incontinence, contact us. There's a new clinical trial going on for a laser procedure that you could have done that would help. I'm like, I'm gonna check into that. Well, of course, by the time I called, the trial was over. They had already stopped taking anybody else, which was like a couple days later. So I know there's a lot of women out there that, that go through this because the trial filled up pretty quick. So I guess 3 or 4 months passed and it just stayed on my mind, stayed on my mind. And so I called my OBGYN doctor and I asked the nurse, I said, how do I go about getting into one of these clinical trials? And, you know, for stress incontinence, because they do it, I think, like once a year. And she said, well, you'll have to come in and do an evaluation, and then we can put you on the list and call you whenever we plan to do one. I said, okay, well, that sounds good. And this was like probably October. And so I was like, well, I'll just wait, and I'll talk to them about it whenever I go for my annual, which is usually in November. So I went to my annual in November, and you know, we did the whole visit and everything, and he comes back in and we're sitting and chatting, you know, and I'll see you next time kind of thing. And then I started asking him, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, you know, I'm having a real bad problem with, you know, stress incontinence. He was like, oh yeah, coughing and sneezing and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, you're being such a man. I said, no, breathing, standing up, bending over. I was like, it ain't no coughing and sneezing. I was like, this is really affecting my life. And I've started seeing how it's affecting my life. Just because I want to be active with my kids. I want to do this or I want to do that, but I can't because I'm living my life around wearing a freaking pad or Depends or the Assurance, you know, panties. I done went out and bought me some stress incontinence or incontinence underwear, you know, the pull-ups like Depends and stuff. I have done went out and bought some of those, and I'm like, I'm 37 years old. I should not be doing this. But yet everybody is saying it's normal. You know, normal this, normal that. Do your Kegels, you'll be okay. So I was talking to him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll get you set up with urology, and you just get a sling and it'll be done. I'm like, what? Come again? He said, yeah, we'll get you set up, you know, and you'll go over there and say urology, and he'll do a little bladder sling and take care of that for you. I'm like, excuse my language, you're shitting me, right? He's like, no, he can fix you up. So you mean to tell me I have suffered for 20 years with people telling me this is normal, do your Kegels, it's a woman thing after having babies, it's normal, and I could have had this fixed? And he was like, yeah, no problem. No problem. Set me up. Let's do this. So I wait a couple weeks, and nobody ever calls me. So I call the doctor's office, and I'm like, hey, Dr. So-and-so referred me to Dr. So-and-so to get a bladder sling done, da-da-da-da-da. So they're like, okay, let me get your information. I'll get it pulled up. So they said, we'll call you back as soon as we can get it scheduled. No problem. So then they called me back, and they said, well, Dr. So-and-so is going to have to send us a referral in order to get you on the schedule. And they all work for the same clinic. You know, it's just one of those things. One has to tell the other. No big deal. So I called the OBGYN and he's like, okay, I'll get my nurse to do it. Nurse did it. The next week or so, the urologist called me back and they're like, hey, I hear you wanted a bladder sling, you know, for stress incontinence. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. So they get me all set up. I go last Wednesday, which was December 12th, I think it was. December 12th. So I go in there and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my visit. I don't know if you want to skip this part or not. It's pretty funny though. So I go in there and I'm telling him like, yeah, I got stress incontinence. Okay, sorry about that. That was the hospital getting my surgery stuff all set up. Okay, so back to the visit. Okay, so the doctor come in. He was like, hey, I hear, you know, you're here for a bladder sling or urethral sling, and you got some stress incontinence. And I'm like, I have severe. I mean, it has always been severe to me. And he's like, okay, no big deal. Take 8 minutes to fix, you know. He come back and talked to us and he was like, you'll have a 90 to 95% success rate. He said it may not be 100% because mine is so severe, but he said it may be 90 to 95% success rate. And I said, that's okay because I have 0 right now. So that's a lot better than what I got now. So he said, okay, we're going to take a scope and we're going to fill your bladder up with water. And then we're going to look real quick. I'm just going to look and make sure your bladder's okay. Make sure you're emptying your bladder fine and all that good stuff. And then we'll get you set up, you know, to do it. And, okay. So, of course, I change and they come in there. The nurse, you know, does like a little catheter thing and she fills the bladder up with water and all that stuff. I'm emptying fine and whatever. So the doctor comes in and he gets the scope. But of course, I'm numb at this point, so don't let this scare you. I'm laying there talking or whatever. Everything's done been numbed up. So he takes the scope and he goes like through the catheter or whatever and goes in and looking around my bladder. You know, he's got the little thing with his eye and he's looking at my bladder and oh, everything looks good. And so he takes everything out. He was like, okay, I want you to cough for me. I'm like, are you ready for this? He's like, yeah. He said, go ahead and give me a cough and let me, you know, kind of see what you got going on. I'm thinking to myself, I'm laying there in this position. You got my bladder full and you're standing in front of me and you have no protective equipment on. This is what's going through my head. I'm like, okay, you asked for it. I took a deep breath and go like that. Just cleared my throat. Oh my God. It was hilarious. Hilarious. The look on his face, I will never forget. Everywhere. I seen it spurt on him. He said, oh my, that is significant. I was rolling. I was trying to squeeze my bladder shut so I could laugh at him, okay? He's like, oh my, that is significant. I told him, I said, I tried to warn you. He said, okay, yes, we are getting you a sling. I was like, thank you. So the doctor's like, let me go talk to my scheduler and we'll see when we can get you set up. He was like, you know, it's the end of the year, first of the year, you know, a lot of people with insurance. I said, I don't go to the doctor, so it don't matter about me making my deductible. He's like, okay, when you want to do it? I said, when can you do it? So anyways, we got all set up with that. And of course the doctor left and the nurse went by and I tapped her on the arm. I said, I tried to warn him. He better be glad I held it back. She said, girl, I wish you would have sprayed the fire out of him because I was waiting for a laugh all day today. So if I would have known that, I could have took care of that. So we were laughing about it or whatever. So anyways, we get all set up. And so tomorrow is my surgery date. And I have laughed all week. I have cried all week. I have crossed my legs and laughed and cried together. But you know, I hate it because being a woman, you're always told it's normal. You have babies, you pee your pants. You know, that's the way it is. But it's not. And being this bad, it has really restricted my life, my kids' life, me participating in a lot of stuff. And I just wish I would have known about this a long time ago. So I'm not doing this to put out TMI. I'm putting it out here for somebody else that is going through the same thing. Where, you know, you may have had babies and everybody just keeps telling you it's normal. Society tells you it's normal. But when you get to a point like this, it's not normal. And having children shouldn't restrict your life. You shouldn't have, you know, bodily function causes of restrictions. So, yeah, I just got the call. Everything's set up. I am registered. I am ready to go. And tomorrow's the big day. I want to take you guys along with, you know, hopefully the next section you'll see is going to be, hey, we're on our way to the hospital. You know, this is our room, we're getting ready, and, you know, all that stuff. Just kind of take you along on the journey. Tell you how I'm feeling afterwards. He said I'll be able to go back to work the next day. Because they just make like a little internal 2-inch incision. Put the sling in. Takes 8 minutes. In and out. No big deal. I will be asleep. But no big deal. I have had a headache for like the last week because I'm so excited. I don't ever show much emotion. But when it comes to, I'll be able to dance. I'll be able to play volleyball. I'll be able to play baseball. I'll be able to run. I'll be able to exercise. I'll be able to do these things that I haven't done in a very long time. Very, very long time. My kids are excited. You know, my kids are excited, and that's what matters. I'll be able to exercise and lose weight and be able to have my back get better, because I've had some back issues lately because I can't exercise because I'm gaining weight. But I can't do anything until I get my bladder fixed. And it's going to make all the difference in the world. You know, for the last week, I've been telling Steven, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do that. That I've probably never done since I've been with him. You know, like, we're going to be able to go on long hikes. I'm going to be able to wear regular panties. Because I guess when I got pregnant was the last time I wore just plain panties. It's not much to you, but it is to me. I'm sorry if I'm making you cry, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me. And I hope I help somebody else. Because it's not normal. No matter what people tell you. No matter what society tells you, it's not normal. So, let's get our bags packed and let's go get this fixed. And we'll see what happens. Let's go. Kind of grainy. Well, good morning. and we are on our way to the surgery center. Just wanted to check in, and sun's coming up. Uber's driving and eating M&Ms. So I will check back in with you guys whenever we get in the room, and maybe let you know what's going on. But here we go. We are checked in, and I'm waiting to get the IV, get the medicine and stuff like that, to get started. Done my vitals. They've asked me a ton of questions. Yeah. Everybody's funny this morning. Everybody's got jokes. They're like, we're just tired. We just got to be funny. So we are almost there, and if I don't see you beforehand again, I will see you guys afterwards. And Steven may pick it up and be like, okay, she's back, we're on our way, you know, whatever. I don't know. No? Okay. I'll see you guys afterwards. Alright, procedure is over. I'm still a little hungover. Just waiting to go to the bathroom, and then we are going to head out. I'm not in too much pain right now. It just feels like I've got a gallon-sized bladder right now. I gotta go, but I can't, kind of thing. But it may just be the pain. I've had some Demerol and stuff like that, but just waiting to see, and I will see you guys probably when I get home. Yay! They'll let me go.
They'll let me take her. Yay!
Yep. Gonna stop and get something to eat, I guess, and then head home, and I will fill you guys in later. Okay, guys, so it is evening time. I haven't been doing a whole lot today after my surgery, just taking it easy, doing some video editing. The kids cooked supper for me, which was easy peasy taco meat. It's Taco Tuesday. We did a live tonight, so I sat there and did the live, and I can already tell a big difference because y'all had me cracking up on them lives, and everything was perfect. The weirdest thing that I want to share with you guys is, let me shut the door. So with me explaining everything that has happened and why I was to this point, I have now realized, after having this done, I have had to absolutely reteach myself how to pee. Now let me explain a little bit about that. Not too details, but just a quick overview. Because when I would go to the bathroom, I would literally sit down, it would come out on its own. I wouldn't really even have to push at all to go to the bathroom. And today I was in recovery, and of course I couldn't leave until I urinated first. So it's like, you know, whenever you go pee, just let me know, and then you'll be able to go home. And I was already discharged. All they had to do was just come take my IV out and then go home. So me and Steven went to the bathroom. He went in there and helped me, held my hand and all that good stuff. But I went in there and I sat there for probably 10 minutes, and I told Steven, I said, I'm holding up the bathroom, so let's go ahead and let me go back in there and sit and let the anesthesia and the swelling and stuff kind of relax for a few more minutes. And because I'd been out of surgery probably about an hour, and they'd give me Demerol and stuff like that, you know, just standard procedure stuff. And so I went back and I sat down and I told him, you know, it's a no-go for now. You know, I gotta really bring myself back together to be able to go back. So we waited about 10, 15 minutes or so, and I didn't hear anybody go to the bathroom or anything. I said, I told Steve, I said, let's go ahead and go back and try again. So I went back in there, and you would have swear the way I looked, I was trying to have a bowel movement. But I was at a point that I did not know how to make myself pee. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to functionally do it, because it had just done it on its own for so long. And some of you guys may think that's weird, but you know, literally I had like no control over that part of my body to an extent. Um, and I didn't realize how bad it was until that point, that he had actually put the sling in and everything's good. I'm not in a whole lot of pain. I've got like everything is sore, like everything down there's been run over. But it's not bad. I have taken a couple pain pills, which I never take, but it's a sensitive area and I want to stay on top of it because I don't know how bad it's going to get. Today's only the first day. The second and third day is always worse. So I'm trying to stay on top of it. But I didn't realize to that point that I was going to have to really mentally come together and teach myself how to go back to the bathroom. So I went in there and I was trying to relax and trying to push it out as, you know, because I was ready to go home. I was done by this point. I'm like, I am fixed. I am good. Let's go home. Let's get this recuperation on. And I finally got out, I don't know, probably a quarter of a cup or something like that. And that took every bit of my mental focus and my muscle focus, because I didn't want to hurt anything. Because, you know, you can do a little too much and you can, you know, hurt the surgical area. And so I have noticed today that it has been an adventure. Of course, with the IVs and everything, all the fluids that they gave me and everything I've been drinking, I've had to go a lot. And if this is too much information, you can leave or you can stay. But also during this time, I noticed that my stream has become really narrowed, and it's a change. It's a learning curve that I'm really working on, really having to focus and retrain what I'm having to do, you know, to make sure I do keep everything functional and take it easy during this recovery period. So I wanted to take a quick second and kind of give you a fill in just as a post-op day one. How am I feeling now? Which I'm doing great. I really do feel good. I'm not trying to do a whole lot at all. I'm having the kids even pick up stuff, you know, that's on the floor, on the lower areas. You know, I'm trying not to bend over because I can't squat. I can't take high steps. I can't lift anything over 10 pounds. I can't exercise except for walking on the treadmill for about 10 minutes. I can do that. So it's going to be a few weeks before I can really get back to doing what I have as goals to start doing. It's going to take me between 4 and 6 weeks, and God forbid I don't want to hurt anything. So I'm going to take the time and rest and keep the prayers flowing, because you guys have really been supporting me. The few that knew about this, you guys have really been supporting me, and I really do appreciate it. And I have a bunch of great friends on here, and so stick around, and I'll be kind of doing like some life updates, and you'll see me doing more over the next few weeks. And I'll tell you the steps that I'm kind of going through of changing, and, you know, oh, I can do this now. Oh, I can do that now, you know, and different stuff like that. That's the journey I want to take someone on that is needing this information. So, y'all just stick around and follow our journey of life as we share it with you guys, and teach you stuff and learn from you and get some great friends. So I hope this inspired you in some way, or maybe someone you know, because I'm putting my life out here. I'm telling you information that someone needs to know. And it's my information, so keep it precious to the sources that you share this to, and, you know, just use it as an information tool for someone or even yourself that may need it. So I thank you for joining me the last couple of days as I get mentally prepared to go through all this and the changes and the learning curve and all that. I really enjoyed making this for you, and I just hope it helps somebody. So stick around and see what kind of updates come about from this, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye. Hey guys, quick update. We are now in week 5. I've got one more week of full recovery. Most of everything that I could do ended or began at week 4. So I'm at that point now where it's I can try stuff but take it easy kind of thing. So if you guys watch our lives with our dancing, you notice I've maybe done a little bit more, but I still have to take my time on that. I wanted to follow up with the urination training. It really ain't got no better. I think this is kind of how it's going to be. Now, I told you about the post-op day just then, and I want to follow up because this is actually, current day is January 16th, okay? So, the first week, we went out to eat, and now for the first 2 weeks, I didn't have any feeling down there, and I still really don't. It's kind of weird. I don't really know if I have to pee or not, and then I'm so full that I can't hardly empty fast enough to make the pain go away. Like whenever you've been sitting riding for a long time and it's just painful, you've got to pee. Well, I will sit down. It takes me like 5 minutes to empty out. Just constant little dribble, trinkle, whatever. So I'm still working on that, getting used to that. I'm starting to get used to not having to cross my legs or, squeeze my legs real quick whenever I have to sneeze or cough or something like that. I tell you, I'm at, like, he gave me between 90 and 95%. He might have tied a knot in it or something, but I'm like 99%. I don't have any trouble that I can think of at the moment. Every now and then, there may be a little residual, like at the end of the tube part, where that may, leak out or whatever. But other than that, I have really enjoyed this. I'm still not 100% ready to get out there yet. I'm taking it easy. I'm just seeing what I can do. I don't want to push my limits too far, but I'm just seeing what I can do. And I'll tell you, if you have this problem and it's bad enough that your doctor thinks you may need a sling, go get it. Go get it. This is game changer. So, if you guys have any questions, leave them below. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm a nurse. I'm whatever. I'm here to help people. So, if you have any questions, any concerns, any thoughts, just let me know. Like I said, this is my life. Keep it respectful. I guess you could say. Keep it respectful. I'm here to help somebody. Somebody needs to know this, and this is why I'm doing it. So, I am enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with someone that may have this problem or may be interested in it. And you guys can always comment down below. Contact me on Instagram, Facebook, however you need to. Just, take this, in heart. And let's help people. Let's help somebody. Because this procedure did not come with a guidebook or instructions or anything like that. So I have been winging it. So this is my documentation for somebody that may want to go through this or needs to go through this or has went through it, and you kind of need to know what to expect. So anyways, guys, now I'm going to let you go and we will see you later. Bye, guys.